ahead and come down to the floor. And now we're going to get onto our back. So letting the legs go straight out in front, we're going to bend one knee, placing that foot flat to the floor. We're going to bring that foot out to about 45 degrees from the midline of the body. And we're going to start with just breath and light pelvic tilt, but we're only tilting one pelvis. So as we inhale, feel that belly open up to the ceiling. It's going to lift the spine, so we should have some space in our low back. Exhale, draw that navel in, feel that belly button like a thumb pressing the spine into the floor, and get a light scoop. And I'm really just getting that light scoop on the pelvis of the foot that is on the floor. Opposite leg and pelvis are relatively relaxed. Inhale brings that belly up. Exhale feels the belly button pressing the spine down, and light scoop. As you get that light scoop, you should notice some grounding downward pressure through that foot. So we're going to continue that breath and scoop, but with each exhale and scoop, allow that pelvis to scoop up a little bit more where you feel it start to lift off the floor. Opposite hip, again, should be relaxed and will stay on the floor. And we're going to exhale, scoop higher and higher till we start to feel some stretch through the front of that thigh. And as we start to feel that stretch, I want to squeeze into it. Feel that downward pressure through a flat grounded foot. I want to start to feel that activation in the glute. But it's from this downward pressure as we actively scoop into it. Inhales, bringing it all the way to the floor. Exhale, nice downward pressure as we scoop. Again, notice the opposite leg. I want it to be completely soft and relaxed. If you feel that opposite leg pushing down and trying to lift your hip completely off the floor, then you got to get some energy into that leg, or really take some energy out of that leg. Get it to soften and relax. We're only firing one side of the body. On the next one, at the top, we're going to stay at the top. We're keeping that hip elevated, but we're going to come back into those pelvic tilts. Inhale, allow the belly to open up a little bit. Allow that pelvis to tilt forward, even though it's off the floor. Exhale, we're scooping it back in, feeling that stretch through the front of the thigh. An activation of the glute. Again, inhale, tilts lightly, exhale, scooping into it more. We'll get a good 5 up to 10 reps of that. I want to start to feel that glute burning a little bit from being fired up and activated. And then we'll come back all the way down to the floor. Inhale, all the way back up. Exhale for 5 more. Again, really squeeze into that glute. Try to get as much contraction in that glute as you can. We're moving into that stretch as much as you comfortably can, making sure that it is not painful. And after 5 of those full range, we will go ahead and switch sides. Again, foot comes flat to the floor, moving it out to about 45 degrees from the midline of the body. We're starting with just breath and pelvic tilts with the pelvis staying on the floor. So inhale, belly lifts up, big sway in the back. You should be able to slide a hand under that low back. Exhale, belly button drives that spine into the floor. Light scoop of just the pelvis of the foot that's on the floor. Inhale into that exhale, scoop. As you feel that scoop, can you feel that light engagement of the foot grounding down into the floor? You can even work to spread the toes, keep that foot evenly grounded. And with each exhale, we're now going to start to continue to scoop into it and let that hip scoop a little higher and a little higher with each one, till we start to feel that light stretch through the front of the thigh. Inhale as we bring it all the way back down. And with each one, feel that stretch through the front. Squeeze into it a little bit more. See if you can start to feel that glute activating in the rear more. Pay attention to that opposite leg. Again, I don't want it to be pushing down to where it's lifting this hip off the ground. This opposite hip should be completely soft. We're kind of rolling over it. It's not active. With each one, see if you can squeeze a little bit more into it to start to feel more and more of that glute contraction. Notice if this side feels easier or harder than the other side. On our next exhale at the top, we're going to keep it at the top and we're going to come back to those tilts, pelvic tilts at the top. Inhale, let the belly open up, pelvis tilts forward. Exhale, actively scoop into it, but try not to let the hip drop down to the floor. And with each one, actively scoop a little bit more and a little bit more so that you start to feel that burn in the glute. I want to feel that burn because it's really being fired up. And we'll do 5 to 10 of these nice scoops at the top. And then we're going to finish with that full range, letting it all the way back down on the inhale. Exhale, scooping all the way back up. Again, feel that glute should be feeling it a little bit. It should be feeling activated, maybe a little bit of that burn in the glute, continuing to move into that stretch through the front of the hip. Good. So once we've evened out, we're now going to bring both feet flat to the floor. I don't want the feet to be super tight. They can be away from the hips just a little bit. Feet are going to be about hip to shoulder width apart. And I want nice, flat, grounded feet. We're going to do the exact same breath into pelvic tilts, but now both feet are on the floor. Inhale, belly is lifting up. Again, lifting the spine off the floor. Exhale, feel that belly button push the spine into the floor as we lightly scoop the tailbone. Inhale brings us back up. Exhale, actively scoop. And on the next one, as we scoop, we're going to continue to scoop and see if we can start to peel the sacrum and the spine off the floor, one vertebrae at a time. So the first one, scoop and see if you can just scoop where you just lift the sacrum, but you feel the lower vertebra still on the floor. Inhale as we let the sacrum back down, belly lifts up. And then on the next one, as you exhale, see if you can scoop, lift the sacrum and just the L5 vertebrae, that first vertebrae off the floor, but keeping the upper spine still on the floor. Inhale as we let it down, belly opens up, and we're going to do this one vertebrae at a time, scooping a little bit higher, lifting the next vertebrae up, all the way down. We're going to continue to do that. The hips are going to get a little higher on each one. And the only way you're going to be able to maintain that little bit of spine on the floor is that active scoop of the tailbone, scooping into it. As we get closer to the top, we're now starting to work to feel that stretch through the front of the thighs. We want to get that activation through the glutes. But that scoop is what's going to be doing it. I want to actively turn that tailbone up to the ceiling like we're trying to touch the ceiling. I want to feel the ribs drawing down at the same time so that we feel that nice active glute at the top. Inhale, we're still letting that belly open up. Exhale, press the belly button to the spine into the floor, and then scoop, peeling each vertebrae one at a time. On the next one, as we get to the top, we're going to stay at the top, and we're going to work that breath with tilts at the top. So on the inhale, let the pelvis tilt up to the floor to where we get some sway in the back and the belly opens up. Exhale, we're actively scooping into it to feel that stretch on the front and engagement of the glutes. I don't want the hips to drop on this part. I want to keep them at the same level, but we're just tilting at that high point. And with each exhale, you should feel those glutes kind of fire up more and more. Get 5 up to 10 breaths with that scoop. And then we're going to let the hips come all the way back down to the floor.